Hey guys, it's Mia here, and welcome back once again to another movie review. Now, it is late again. It is almost midnight. I have been busy both days on these movie reviews, and it costs me to work on the video very late. I still have to edit this. But we are finally done. We finished the last stretch in the Twilight saga. That being the Breaking Dawn Part 2. We are finally done with this Twilight bookish to movie marathon. And for once, we have two movies out of the franchise that were directed by the same person. That being Bill again, who directed the first part of Breaking Dawn. So that was nice. We had at least ended the series out with the same director. But after nearly 3 minutes of opening credits, the movie starts out exactly where Breaking Dawn Part 1 left off, which is Bella opening her eyes and waking up. Now, Bella, of course, is a lot stronger than Edward right now because she's a newborn. Usually it's the other way around. The older the vampire is, the stronger they are. But not my series, not my say-so. And I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I've tried 3 times to read this book, and each time I did not finish it. But I did know what happens because A, I watched the movie, and B, I've had spoilers in other reviews or just coming across people talking about it. So I do know that I do know stuff about it, even though I didn't completely get to part 2 of the book. Now, I will say that a lot more happens in this story, and Bella seems to really come into her own as a vampire. And may I just say, it was honestly great to see Bella get on Jacob for his attraction to Renesmee. I mean, I know that he says it's not like that, don't see it that way, but there is no other way to see it because it is eventually going to turn into love. And she, at that point, is still little, even though she grows inhumanly fast. She is still little at that point in time. So it was kind of nice to see Bella rough Jacob up a little bit for that situation because it was just all wrong, and just to get to see Bella take a minute to show him how wrong it is was perfect. Now, this movie isn't perfect. Did I like the movie a lot more than part 1? Yes, very much so. I liked part 2 a lot more than part 1 because in part 2, stuff actually happens. But then again, the climax of the movie doesn't happen till nearly 30 minutes left of the movie, and 12 minutes of that is credits. So we don't get that long of a climax. And the credits were as long as they were because they were giving credit to every single person that ever worked on the show, from the smallest extra to all the different directors. And don't get me wrong, that's nice, especially on the end of a series that you've been working on for years. It's nice to have a memorial to show who worked on it and all the effort it took. I'm not saying don't commend the effort that it took, but my goodness, nobody is gonna sit through 12 minutes of credits anyway when you already had 3 minutes of opening credits. Everybody's gonna hit the fast forward or just stop the movie at that point. There's no point making it that long, as commendable as it is. Now, the effects in this one, with the running of the vampires, are very subpar. Like, you can tell it is a horribly blurred green screen and they're running on a treadmill. I mean, just look at it. It's so bad. And I'm not even going to show you the terrible little CGI sprites that don't even physically move a body part. They just kind of float across the screen. It's so bad. And another thing that kind of bugged me. I get that Bella is this shield, which she can use her powers to protect not only herself, but also others. And I know this is set up from the very first book, and that's the whole reason why Edward couldn't read her mind to begin with. And they say that a human's natural abilities are enhanced as a vampire. So Edward couldn't read her mind from the beginning because she had this shield power, this blocking power. So when she became a newborn, that increased tenfold. And then she learned how to protect others with it. But because of this shield power, Bella is like the most controlled newborn. She seems more human than any of the other vampires combined. I mean, at one point, after Jacob pulls the most selfish move I've ever seen, because he didn't want Bella to take Renesmee away, he goes and tells Charlie that Bella isn't human and shows him that he's a wolf. And I just think that's so selfish because there is a reason they can't tell Charlie what they are, because the Volturi will come and kill him because of these rules. But Jacob does it anyway out of selfishness. So now Charlie knows that she is something not human, but he doesn't know what, because they're not allowed to tell him. So after Jacob pulls that incredibly selfish move, Charlie, of course, wants to see his daughter and figure out what the heck is going on, so he goes over to the Cullens' house. And they're all worried that, she's gonna drink his blood or attack. They're all worried she's gonna attack him because, newborn vampire, human, not a good mix. But even in spite of them being so worried that Bella might attack her own dad, they just walk out of the room and leave her sitting with her dad. Like, hello, where'd all that worry go? That was just something I mean, I know they're vampires and they're super fast and they can hear well, but still, she could probably do away with Charlie before they could make it back into the room. It was just so stupid. Why would they leave her alone? And then the final battle was just so intense. Like, even just them standing and talking, like, you could cut the tension with a knife. And I think that really aided to the suspense of it. The slow walking from side to side, the armies that are the biggest armies amassed by any other vampires, and just getting to see them interact slowly was just, it gets you on edge. It really does, because it's suspenseful without being overly dramatic. And then the battle that ensues after that is literally just pure chaos. People are fighting this way, people are fighting that way, wolves are clashing with vampires this way, people are falling, being ripped apart, literally. And that's just all going on. And then you got, like, characters dying that you wouldn't expect to die, and just all this stuff. The earth cracks open because of one of their powers, and it's just chaos. And you know, war is chaos. Even if you have a good person or a good commander, war is chaos. It should never look pretty or never look appealing. It should be chaotic. It should be insane. But it was. And you know, it wasn't bad to get to see Jane get her comeuppance either. And I'm probably not the only Twilight person that thought that, because I didn't like Jane. She scared the crap out of me, if I'm honest, and she's like 13 in human years, older in vampire years, but still, she's terrifyingly tiny. And even though it was all just a vision by Alice, I know that the book just had them talking. There was no fight in the book whatsoever, which, granted, is a stupid, boring way to end your big finale to your series. Like, that's just such a dumb, boring way to end the series. So, I'm okay with the fact that that whole battle ended up being just a vision shown to Arrow by Alice. But I know that other people were so mad about it. And I'm like, why are you mad? Would you rather have them just talk for 30 minutes and then resolve it and go home? That would be so boring and a waste of money to see. Like, that is not a way you end a series. And I'm glad they added the final battle in there, because it gave us payoff. It gave us tension. It let us see how big of a threat the Volturi is, that they had to get all their friends from literally across the world together in order to fight them. And they were still taking heavy losses. And they stayed true to the ending of the book by having that all be the vision. So I'm not mad that they did that. I'm glad that the movie did that. I mean, yeah, they could have kept it to where everybody died, but there were some characters that died that I really didn't want to die, like poor Seth, just Carlisle, no, but yeah. Having the battle turned into a vision was a good idea on the director's part, in my opinion, because it gave us a better finale to this series than the actual book gave us, which was just 30 minutes of them talking and then going home. So I'm not mad at how they did the vision fight. I really enjoyed it. But then you have everybody living happily ever after, and Alice seeing a vision of the future with Esme and Jacob running off together, and everybody being happy, and yada-da-da-da. Yeah. Then we get a whole montage of all the movies up to that point, because Bella finally lets Edward in when she lets her shield fall. And dramatic ending. But, yeah. Then we get the whole 12 minutes of credits nobody's gonna watch. But, all in all, I actually really enjoyed this one. And this one was probably the only one of the series that I'd watch without being sick. Like, I'm a person that when I'm sick, I can't sleep. So I'll put a movie on that I know, but I don't really care about watching, because I already know what happens, and it's not the most exciting movie that I can choose, because that just gives my mind something to focus on other than, oh, I'm sick, I feel miserable. You know, I do that. So Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, Part 1, all seem like movies I could just put on for background noise, curl up in bed, and just use it for background noise, excuse me. But I don't think I could do that with Part 2, because it is just complete chaos when it gets to the battle, and the whole setup for it is this whole big mystery. Now, for the wrap up. So, I'm going to start off with this because y'all already know my opinion on this. This Breaking Dawn is the worst book in the series, in my opinion, which just sucks because this is the end to your series. The finito, the finish. You're done. It was terrible. Like I said, I tried to read it 3 different times and I could not. I did not finish it either time. So we're done. So that's the worst book in my opinion. The best book in my opinion is New Moon. I just love how Jacob and Bella start connecting and their whole like building a friendship seems more genuine and more, they have better chemistry and it doesn't seem forced and he doesn't have to walk on eggshells, and in this one he is understanding and he sees the cues of what sets Bella deeper into her depression and then pulls her out of it. It's just a much better told story. And then out of the movies, my least favorite, Breaking Dawn Part 1. I felt like we were intruding on someone's honeymoon, which kind of, I guess, was the point, but it was boring and not fun. And my favorite of the movies is probably Breaking Dawn Part 2, just because like we got to see all the characters that they were talking about being family of, and they were fighting for something real. I know it's a repeat of, oh, more vampires coming to kill us, but there was a reason to fight. Like, she wasn't just fighting for herself or fighting for her selfish wish of immortality. She was fighting for her family and for her loved ones, because they are her family now, and that is her daughter. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole Twilight series, and honestly, I am so glad to be done with this series, because even though I enjoy it, most of them, I am purely on series burnout right now. But to be honest, this whole bookish movie marathon was really fun, and I really enjoyed it, but I think I'm going to do it with a shorter series next time, because it's like eating the same food over and over and over again until you feel like you're going to get sick because you've had it so much. Alright, hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.